everybody, welcome back. I'm your man, Bad Chad, and Queen Jolene's on the camera. Thanks for coming back. We're back at it. I've proceeded to strip the trunk lid. I did exactly how I always do it. I used the 40 grit on the DA, and then I used the drill and the stripper wheel to get it cleaned off. I was thinking about going down here and making these pieces first, and I've changed my mind because I think that I should do this hip here first, get this in place, get this rocking and rolling so this is going where we want it to go before I start doing down there. If I get that down here, if I start doing this piece or start doing that piece, basically it's over. It's going to stay where it's going to be. If I get doing this up in here and I don't like it, then I can change it. I don't think there's any reason why I'm going to dislike it, but I could change it if I look at it, I don't like this. Once I weld it down there, and if I didn't like it, once I come up to here, I'd have to cut it all off. Don't want to do that. So basically what I did, you seen yesterday, I bent the square stock and put it in there and made it the same shape. So today we're going to put this piece in from here to the roof. I am going to take and draw a black line on there where the tape is. The reason being is I might want to take that black tape off after a little bit. And that's what I'm saying, where I want my metal to come to. I was just thinking about that, and why not do that? So basically that's where my metal is going to come to. Also, if you can tell that, this is where the belt line is from the window. So my belt line is going to continue above the line that we've got drawn on here. And basically what that's going to do is it's going to sink that back roof inside the car a little further, which is going to make it look a little bit better, in my opinion. And that's my belly button. So I'm just going to trace this along here. I can measure the square stock and then cut a piece to put inside there. Oh, I just dropped that marker in there, right in the water too. Darn it. I can put and cut and measure and cut a piece to put in there in the middle, but that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a pattern. I'm going to make a pattern. Brand new marker. Ooh, things are special. Jolene special. I'm not doing such a great job with it though. Just want to draw that on there in case I want to take the tape off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a pattern out of Bristol board first. For the simple reason is, when I take the pattern over, I'm pretty sure that it's going to fit. If I cut and take a measurement, sometimes it's not always where I want it to be. If I make a pattern, generally, it is exactly where I want it to be. That made me feel bad putting that marker down in that water, because that's a waste. And I can't reach it either. Down there just bubbling. Jolene looks amazing today, I must say. You look amazing, sweetheart. So I'm going to take some Bristol board and apply it together and make my pattern. I'm going to have to use, the roller. You can see that the square stock is going this way. And I cannot forget, I'm going to grab a level just to show you. And I cannot forget, we have to go the other way. So what we got going on here is I got a little space underneath here, a little space underneath here. So that tells me this is going on. So we've got this going on, and we got this going on. This probably could be the scary part about cutting a car apart and making a coupe out of it, is the metal shape. The shape of the metal has to be to make it sort of look right and to fill it out. I could put a piece in that runs flat up to the roof. Yes, I can. But in actual fact, I would think that we should put a little shape in it to make it fit the trunk lid, and up on top of the roof there would have a little bit of shape going both ways. And we will use both the English wheel and the roller. And the reason I'm going to use the the roller is because obviously I can get that shape out of the roller. In the English wheel, I think I can get the other shape. Alrighty. Lay that down, because it's gonna fall down, no doubt in my mind. I'm gonna get up in there, because no doubt in my mind, the paper's gonna fall down. And then I get a chance to get that marker. I'm gonna save the marker. With the pattern, if I just cut a square piece of metal, I would not, jumpins. I want that marker for some reason, even though I'm gonna, I saved it. So what I'm gonna do is, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to tape the paper. Let's get this going straight here. Just get, you know, this is not an easiest thing to do. I'm going to do this first. Put the paper up to the middle. I got to put the same distance on either side. If Jolene wants to take a look on with her camera, you can see it. I'm going to push it over. What I'm looking for, see the same distance on either. I got that opened up over there. I'm going to tow this over there like that. So I'm going to bring this over. I'm going to tape that right there. I'm going to hold that right there because that's a good line to go by. We're sunk down the center. That's not a good thing. I'm going to tape that there. So I'm making the pattern. Nope, that's not what I want. And that's not what I want. I want to get that up there so it hits in the center. So basically I'm going to get this shape up here first. So what I'm doing, I'm going to lay my marker. No one's ever told you before, it's easier to cut paper than it is metal. So when I make this shape here, it's easier for me to lay a piece of paper up here and try to cut that and then transfer to a piece of metal than it would be to shove the metal up in there and keep cutting it, keep cutting it, keep cutting it. If I cut the paper, then I'll know when I transfer it to the metal, at least I'm close. What's that? I can jump down and get them. I'm gonna jump down and get them. I think I can. Should have got them before I jumped up there. So we'll get some scissors. So what I'm saying is it's easier to cut that shape out of the piece of paper and then putting a piece of metal up there and keep trying it, keep trying it, keep trying it, keep trying it. So that's why I always go to a pattern, that sort of stuff. Alrighty. Take off our tape. I didn't do very good in home ec there. I didn't stay on the line, did I? Just gonna pull that ahead. See what we got. That's good on that line. Just gonna cut that. Scissors aren't the sharpest. I'm gonna have to come the other way. Pretty bad when your scissors aren't sharp. Isn't it, baby? Hacking it off like a hacksaw. So, not bad. I'm going to take and put that in there. Could come up there and a little bit in the middle. And remember, that should be a nice fit there in the middle. And the reason being is, once it comes up, it comes away. Because we're on an angle this way. If I pull the metal up, we're tight there now, but we're down a little bit below the line. So if it's tight here on this end, and tight here on this end, when the paper's pushed up, it obviously pulls the metal away from, which makes it harder to weld. So basically what I'm saying is, on the ends, there probably should be a little bit more taken off. If you know what I'm trying to tell you. What I'm trying to tell you is that it fits good on the ends here. Yes, it does. But in the center, if it's not fitting tight, when I go to push it up, the metal comes away. And we'll have to play with that a little bit. Yes, we will. All right, I'm going to go with that. And it does not matter I'm going to take a piece of tape. I'm going to try to pull this. Yeah. You want to go on the other side to here and pull that tape across there? I'm just trying to make a piece of paper tight. That's all I'm trying to do. Okay, good. We're away in the center here a little bit. I'm going to have to make sure that I add some to that. Basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the pattern. You can see it all the way across there. Just my finger. Now I'm going to make this piece of cardboard. I'm going to make it. And doing this process, it's nice to have dirty fingers. I'm going to make it right to the outside of the square stock. And the reason being is, when I make this shape, it's going to draw that in some. So that's kind of laying down flat or a little bit below right at the present second. But when I cut it on a piece of metal, and I make this shape here up a little bit, it's going to draw that in a little bit, which will allow for the other sheet of metal to take a hold. I'm hoping that I can see that when I take it off. I'm shy. I'm not really shy, but the metal is, or the paper is. It's shy in the middle a little bit. Can you see that? So I'm going to make sure I make it a little bit longer, or try to add a little bit in the center. We probably got probably a 1/4 inch in the middle, so I'll start at a 1/4 inch. I'll just remember that as I'm making the pattern. I'll remember that, and I'll add a little bit metal when we do the piece. So I'm going to take this off, pull this piece off. Could have measured it and put it on there, but basically you would still not know the shape. And I'm going to take that off. Let's cut it. Them scissors are not sharp. There's another pair of scissors on that. Watch it, sweetheart. Gotta be careful in the shop. There's all kinds of cords hanging around, the air hose hanging around. Jolene's trying to film and tripping over air hoses. Ooh, that's better. Just trying to follow the line. Disappearing, got it. Now, as I mark that right on there, I would never want to cut that right on that line there because I traced it there. I want to add a little bit, or, you know, I want to be cautious. Add a little bit. Bill was in this morning. Bill is one of the guys that helped out chopping the car, and was in just to take a look to see where we were going. Most everything that I got going on here, we did on the weekend. It's just that it was not connected or stripped to bare metal. That's basically what's going on. So we cut that obviously on the weekend. We cut the sail panel, we cut this piece, we cut the top of the door. It just was not nailed down. So I'm saying this is our piece, but we're a little bit shy in the center, so I'm going to make sure that I add some when it comes time to cut the piece of metal. I'm going to lay this piece of metal on the floor, just like that piece of paper. I don't think I need that. I want to thank everybody for coming back and watching. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Alrighty. Hope that fits. Who's your daddy? Huh? Oh, see that? Look, right in between there. Look at that. Perfect. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I'm going to do that. Nope. I'm going to pull it back some. I'm going to try to get this straight. I'm going to take this straight edge right here. And why would I not? So, on the front piece, this fit good. That fit good. We were 1/4 of an inch out. So we're going to try to add some. He's a sketcher, that guy. He sketches. So that's what I'm saying, that we're out on that roof. If not, we have extra metal to grind back and make us happy. So I'm saying that we need this. Picks up some grease and oil on the back side of the metal, obviously, because the marker's not working the greatest. And these markers are good. Probably the best marker I've ever come across is the Milwaukee marker. Now, I just said in my own brain, or I said over there, that I would never want to just cut that off right there like that and make sure that works. So I'm going to make sure that I leave a little bit. That's my pattern. We're on the full side of the square stock. We're on the full side of the square stock on that side. That is where it fits up to the trunk lid, metal left, and that's where it fits up to the roof. So I'm going to cut that with a zip cut. I can cut it with many different things, but we'll cut it with a zip cut. You'll just have to turn your TV down maybe or something, or your sound down. Basically, I'm going to cut it with that because I'm not sure why, because it's there and I can cut it with the zip cut. It's laying on the ground. Maybe I need nervous pay. Maybe we can pause it and then I come back. Pause. Play. That worked out all right, didn't it? What? I get the earmuffs. I enjoy the earmuffs. More and more I wear them, the more I enjoy them. Thanks for coming back, everybody. It'll only be a few more days and we'll have a coupe. We'll have a coupe. Have to ask yourselves, would it took longer to set up the plasma cutter or just cut it with a zip cut? Basically is what I'm asking myself, I guess. Seeing where I got to change the disc, it's 50-50. So that just tells you that there's more than one way to skin a cat, basically. So on this part here, I want to make it a little bit longer than it should be. I do, because I'm going to need it, so I'm just going to do it by eye. Short laying. So I didn't leave myself a whole bunch, probably 1/4 of an inch. Probably should have left myself some more so this fit. So in case this happens, but I didn't, so we're going to go with it. I got a flapper wheel over here. Just going to flap the wheel off the sharp stuff. One of these days I'm gonna have to slow down. We've got a lot of gifts in the mail, and we're gonna have to take some time to appreciate the gifts that we were given. We have not opened them up yet because we want to share it with you, or the people that has sent the gifts. We want to share it with you, and we're gonna have to take the time one of these days and go about and show respect. And how do you get respect? It's earned. That's not, oh, I like that. It's not bad. It could come out a little bit, but basically and honestly, alrighty. Now, we're kind of flat going on there. Can't have that, don't want that. We're gonna shove this through the roller. We're gonna shove it through this way. Don't want to get too much on it. Just want to roll it a little bit. Just a little bit. Nice. Nice little roll there. So, the memory of the metal. I'm going to put that away. What I'm saying is the memory of the metal. It looks like it could even come up higher, you know what I mean? The square stock, it could have even come up. It's been round like that, but we're at where we're at because that's where we want it to be. Okay. All right, now that I got to do, now I've got it rolled. I've got it rolled this way. Now, what I'm saying is, if this is the back of the trunk, I showed that we want roll this way. And that's what I'm going to try to do. I say that the English wheel is overrated, and I use it twice this week. That's the way it goes sometimes. I have not got very much pressure on that. Not very much at all, and that's good. So when I shove the metal through the English wheel, I am not, what can I say? I'm only doing what I think. So generally when I put something through the wheel, when I put it through the wheel, the metal usually turns down, like it turns down on both sides. So basically if I'm running the wheel through the center of this piece, basically I'm hoping that the metal turns down on this side, turns down on this side. We already have this shape, so the shape I need is what I'm going to use this for. Basically. And I'm going to work it side to side and try to get that shape. And hopefully it works out for me. I don't like that. It might take me a little bit, but going through straight, turn a little bit, go through straight, turn a little bit, and it takes you right to the other side. That's what it does. It takes me right to the other side. It's like I'm dancing. Don't like flopping down like that. So I really have to hold it. I can crank the wheel tighter. to make it work faster probably. But it might just be something I don't want to do. Just because it might go too fast. Am I getting any shape at all? Maybe I'll work it halfway, and I'll work it halfway the other way. Now, oh, I'm getting it. There's just a lot of wheeling, that's all. I'm gonna work it halfway, and then I'll turn around and work it the other halfway, just so I don't bend anything. Just gonna hold down on that side. You can feel it putting the marks in it, that's for sure. This is the back part. This is the front part. You can tell it's stretching it, that's for sure. I can feel a little bit in it. Not really worried about that whole bunch. Turn it around. Go the other way. Take a little bit, and we'll get her. The wheel is stretching the metal, not shrinking, stretching. I'm going to have to use the wheel on the outside edges. And the reason being is when I make the panels, I'm going to have to try to turn down that edge, and I'll run the wheel probably just on that edge, trying to hold it down, hold the metal down, and try to run it through. stretching it. Just gonna run it through slowly the whole way. Like when it goes all the way through and bends on me, I don't like that. Alrighty, we got to stretch quite a bit because it was not bent that much when we did it through the roller, and it's because of we stretched it in the center. Get on there. Ah! We're up in the center. We're up in the center. All right. Now, I'm thinking that I'm going to go with it, and the reason being is, I like putting panels under stress. When this has memory this way, so it's going to want to pop off. We got a little bit of high in the center because I've been rolling it. That's fine. I see I got a couple little, I can feel the wheel, a couple little grooves in it. I'm going to run it right to the edge, I guess, so I can feel a little groove on the edge here where it's raised up. Can't see it, but I can feel it. Just gonna go right to the edge. Awesome. Haven't got a whole bunch of pressure on it. I don't want a whole bunch of pressure on it. Got a few marks in it, but I think we'll take some off it. Alrighty. Let's get the welder going. Let's tack this bad boy on there. See what happens. Now you can see that it's rolled it quite a bit more like that, obviously. But with it rolling like that, I'm saying that it's grabbing the center. When we're going through the center. I got the sweat rolling, good for exercise. So on a panel like this, I don't make these panels every day to do this, but I guess I'm not scared to try. Ah, come on now, get your big, yeah. I'm gonna push this ahead, and try to get it in the center first. In the center first. You can see where I got a mark. So, we obviously know, as I push that down and I weld that down, you should know that the metal is going to want to come up. So that's a good thing. So I'm right on about that line. Just gonna go back a little bit. I can see the black line, the marker line that is. Do I want to come over a little bit? Just trying to get in the spot so I have to peel it back off. All right, we're tacked. And didn't I tack it on? Wrong. All right, we're not in the center. Is there any? I'll get it. I got it over too far on one side, and I have to change it. So I'm too far over on this side. Well, that was nice. Don't really want that down in the water. Let's do that again. Let's hold this side. Alrighty. We have nice so what I'm thinking is this panel is going to go on nice and tight and right. Awesome. I'm going to sit down over here if I can. I'd really like to take a look at it if I could. But yeah, it's good. It's time to pull the tape off, I guess. Hoping I left the line. All right. Just going to work myself. Got one in the center. I'm going to work that way, and then I'm going to work that way. This one's on the line there. A little big of a tack, but it did the job. Just go this way. Puts it on the line. Same distance. What's that, sweetheart? Well, at least that's all it's hanging out. Get that tucked back in place. So when you're putting a panel on, go from the center and work your way out. And the reason being is, if I worked from this side over this side, and when I get this side, I might have a bubble, and I would not be able to deal with it. Well, I'd deal with it, but let's push that up. Good. Good. This side here seems to be performing well. Actually, I want to tack. I'm going to tack this. And I want this side to come up a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut that. Good. I have to cut that down either side. And put that on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my zip cut. I'm saying that I got that on there nice. Yeah, that fits nice. Good. That's laying. See how that's laying down there like that? See, remember we put the level across it before, and a flat piece of metal, a straight piece of metal, would not do that. How that tucked that. So what we done on the wheel must have worked, is what I'm trying to say. Because if that metal, remember we laid the level across there, that metal was not straight. So when I laid a level across there, still, it would not be straight. So what it tells me, if the metal is laying down on where it was before, we have got some shape in that piece. We just have to get it on there and apply it right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a zip cut. I don't mind this overlapped here because this piece is kind of tucked down here. So I might leave that instead of cutting that and trying to butt that. I might just run it right straight across there because this piece is right. Just going to take my time here for a second. Use my brain. I can always cut this off. I'm going to tack it while it fits so good. Just going to tack it. Now what I have to do is capture all that shape that I got going on there to the square stock. The reason I push that down there, because that excess metal's got to go somewhere when we go to apply it. That'll probably have to be taken back off, but I want it in place before I cut it. Are my pants falling down? Yes. I didn't buckle myself back up for the brake. Buckle myself up. I'm going to run a piece of tape along that and cut that. Turn that off. Got a piece of tape up here. I want to get it, well, a little ways. What I want to do is I want to be able to bring these pieces over to the square stock, obviously. And weld them on also. Was that sweat dripping? Just going to take and do the same thing on this side. Give myself a little bit. Got some there now on this side. I'm over a little bit, so. Alrighty, now I'm going to take the zip cut and try to cut that. Not try, I'm going to. Hard going right at the present second. Alrighty, I want my gloves, please. Thank you, sweetheart. I could have also put something underneath here to make that shape, sort of, I guess. I scratched our car. Pull this off. Could use a little bit more on that side. Alrighty. You know we've got shape when all that's going on. Alright. Let me get out of this thing. It's hard to see when I'm right on top of it. Hard to see when I'm on top. I'm not going to start on the middle of this one because we've got it tacked up there, and I can see that I've got a lot of extra metal going on, and I'm hoping that the extra metal goes in the center. That's what I'm hoping. I'm going to take this and go to the other side. The other side. This might be better. Might be better. We're half working because we're half plugged in. Alrighty. Let's take some tape off. As you can see, and I might have to put some braces in there, but I really feel like we're going to get that in the center. Alrighty. I'm going to take the welder, start tacking it so it's running down. I don't want to run it back and forth. I want to run it going down. I hit it quite a bit. Alrighty. Also, in the end, if I have any structural issues, I'll take some square stock and I'll go from here, underneath here, to over there. And I could have done that to start with. I just didn't feel like I was going to need to. I'm going to have to run side to side with this because it'd be foolish for me to run one side and not the other. Foolish, I say. Same distance, try to. It's already in place. I love it. Now, I will not do any more welding to this piece other than tacking it down until I get these pieces running over to this. And the reason being is because I'd like to weld them together at the same time. There's no sense in me running all the weld all the way down that piece. When I'm going to add them together. So what I'm saying is, I would like to weld them both, this panel and that panel. Do one weld would be nice. Excuse me, sweetheart. Can I get by you? She wanted to get the shot, boys, but I had to get her to move. You understand? Thinking we're getting her. If I laid a flat piece of metal in there, it wouldn't do that. Now, good. We're going to snip these off. I'm just wondering if I should try to get that. I think I will. I think I'm going to try to get one without that, just to put it underneath pressure, and with it under pressure, it should stay. So I'm just going to try to do one more under pressure. See what happens. And that'll let off the pressure. I'm just sort of wondering what's going to happen if I do that. So I'm kind of wondering what's going to happen. Don't know if I like it. Just looking at it right this present moment, it's kind of got it puckered up there a little bit. When I relief that, let's relief it and see what it does. I don't have to weld it. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. Don't do it any further. No, didn't hurt that a bit.
Did that come off, or did that stay on? I want to take a screwdriver and check that out. Just want to see if that centerpiece stayed on or come off. It doesn't come undone. That's kind of tucked down there, quite heavy. If I weld it there, I think it's probably my best bet. Instead of trying to cut and butt that, it's my best bet to weld it right where it's at. I love it. I love it. You see how that put that up in the center? See how that went up in the center? That's good. That's good. Tight down. Tight down. Let's put it back down the center. Now, it's quite a feat to get that on there like that, but let's try it. And the reason I'm going to try something. I'm going to put the level on it on this way and just see if we get any shape to it at all. Yes, you can put a flat piece of metal on there. Yes, we could have, and it still can be. But I'm saying that if we try the level on in the center of the piece of metal, if there's any gap on either side, we know we've got a crown. And cross your fingers, because I hope we get a little bit of a crown. That's what we want, a little bit of a crown. If not, we have not. All right. We've got a little bit of crown on, you can see on this side, we've got a little bit of crown on that side. You see a little bit of crown on that side? And we've got a little bit of crown on that side. So basically what it's telling me is we've got crown on either side of that one. Can you see crown on either side of that? So we've got crown. We've got crown. And basically that's what we needed is crown. It's not fitting flat. We've got crown. We've got crown. When I put it down here flat on this side, you got the level on this side, it's up. When I put the level on that side, it's got crown. We've got crown. Now, it probably could have been rolled. I probably could have rolled that and rolled that and rolled that and rolled that and rolled that. There's probably some, I can feel a little bit of the roller in it. But in the end, we've got a piece of metal that goes this way, and we got a piece of metal that goes that way. And that's basically what we wanted. On this part here, I'm not going to cut and butt that. It fits too nice. Come. If you take a look at the level, when I go to weld that, how nice that's going to, you can see what a bit of gap is in there. You can see the gap that's underneath the level. So it's really going to fit nice there. But I am going to come through, now what I am going to do, just to make sure, I think I got sort of a little bit of a, well, it's still not flat, a little bit of a flat spot going on right there. So I'm going to take 2 pieces of square stock, I'm going to put a little bit of shape in them, and I'm going to put them underneath this, so this centerpiece cannot go anywhere. It's not going anywhere now. It's nice and tight. But in the end, we have a lot of welding go through here, and I want to try to get as much crown and possible in that centerpiece. But I think we're going fine. We're not flat, that's for sure. We could have probably used a little bit more crown, but we'll get that when I shove some square stock up underneath of it. Awesome. It's going to be a coupe. It's going to be a coupe. Thank you very much for coming back and watching that. Like I said, I am going to take and put a piece of square stock in there, bang, 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 hit it on there, make a little shape to it. I'll shove it up inside and weld it on either side. That's going to be a hard watch, so we probably won't film that. So you'll realize I'll probably put one across here and maybe one across there, maybe just kind of to make it the best it can be. So what's going to happen probably tomorrow if you come back, hope you do, we're going to replace this piece. See where we got this in the center tacked in place now? Now we can come in here and I'm going to look this over, look it over, look it over, look it over, and look it over, that's for sure, to make sure we got the right thing going on. And then we can make this piece and that piece, one piece or the other. And what I'm thinking is this is going to be two different pieces. If I try to get one piece to come up and through there, I think I'm going to have an issue. And that's how sometimes when cars are built, like you can see that they made this piece and then they joined this piece to it because you can see the lead through it. So it was a hard piece to make, so they made it out of two pieces. Basically what I'm going to do down here, I think there's some lead in here. There's some lead across here. I'm not sure if there was two pieces made here to start with to make this piece and that piece, not sure. You can tell when you cut it, yes there is, there's a piece that's cut across here. You can see it on the other side. It's about here somewhere where they cut it in half and then they leaded it. So I'm going to probably make one piece from here to there and then make this piece go up to here. And then these pieces will be dealt with after. But thank you very much for coming back. Appreciate it. I would like for you to like, subscribe, comment, share, and have a great rest of your day. That was cool. Thanks very much for coming back. We'll see you tomorrow.